Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Devil May Cry 4. Today we're doing the rather difficult mission 17.
Devil May Cry.
And people keep asking me how I get those images on the title screen. Well, to do it you load up a completed save file, cancel out to the title screen, and it'll load up one of your random game clear arts. So that's how you do that. Regain possession of Yamato. Ooh, that sounds fun. I did a whole ton of farming before I did this mission, so we have a ton of proud souls. Because we need to buy one move for Lucifer, it's pin up. It's one where you spam the forward attack and put up tons of things in the air. And look how expensive it is. It's not because that move in particular is special. See, these ones are all 100k as well. It's just that the price scaling gets absurd by this point. This is the final skill. Yeah, so I hope they change that in the special edition, because it gets a bit too crazy, I think. But yeah, that's all the skills for Dante. Then we can buy one final blue orb. That doesn't actually fill out our health bar, as you can see. We still need a couple blue orb pieces. But we have all the blue orbs and purple orbs from the store. And it doesn't actually let us even buy any more, even if we wanted to. So you have to collect all the ones in the world as well. Onwards! Ah, all the way back here. The memories. That combat adjudicator. Green health. Not that we need the green orb because we just started the mission.
What's up?
That's still a nice little room with a fair few details in it. It's really weird going back through this mission actually, because this was mission 2 for Nero, so it was hilariously easy. And now it's quite brutal, I think. This fight's not too bad, but it can still be nasty if you don't handle it very well. We only start off with scarecrows, that's not too scary, so we can play around with Lucifer for a bit. Lucifer does a good job against scarecrows once you get it going, because it stun locks them pretty well. Until they devil trigger, at which point they won't care about the Lucifer explosions. So starting off a Lucifer fight with all of the roses in the air, that's a really nice thing to do if you're going to use Lucifer. Then you can just jam them all into an enemy. And yeah, once you kill a certain amount of scarecrows, these blokes spawn in. 2 of these Angelos. And it's a good idea to try and kill one of them instead of any more scarecrows. Because of course, once you kill some more enemies, then a gold Angelo will spawn in. And that's when the silver Angelos become a lot more dangerous. On the other hand, you could just kill the scarecrows and let the Angelos all live and hope they do their big blast move so you can reflect it back in their face. Which is probably the easiest way to do this fight, really. I'm doing it the hard way though, because it's a bit more interesting. I didn't know until recently that if you're devil triggered and you use Pandora's minigun in the air, that'll actually stun enemies. Only when you're triggered. Oh, missed. That goes over enemies' heads a lot if you knock them down, so you gotta look out for that. And that jump back move is really good against their charging slashes. Yeah, not too bad of a fight to start off with. And as Nero, we went across to that other room over there. But Dante can't use Grim Grips, and he doesn't need to go there anyway. Luckily, you can't go there even if you want to. Don't forget this hidden red orb here. And next is one of the 2... I think there's 2 really nasty fights in this mission. This is one of them. Also, in this tower, there were some red orbs that we got in Mission 2. But at the top, there's another cache of orbs that we could not get into. Because you need air hike. And we didn't have air hike. Trying to jump on top of that is actually pretty tough. So I like to use Hellbreaker to try to come down on it, otherwise you'll overshoot quite often. So yeah, this fight, it's pretty brutal. There's some assaults jumping around everywhere. There's a Mephisto, and fighting Mephistos in enclosed spaces like this kind of sucks. The Mephisto isn't too bad though, but once you kill some enemies, a Faust spawns in, and fighting a Faust in this enclosed area sucks. Plus you've got these assaults running around, and they keep spawning throughout the fight. Even once you've spawned in the Faust, there will be some assaults still left to spawn. So I do like trying to get super aggressive against the assaults just to kill them off and get them out of the way. You can kill off the Mephisto early on too if you want, but I find it's not as big a danger as the assaults. And then Faust time. You can try going on the rooftop as well, but I'm not sure which way is better really. I've had mixed success with both strategies, staying on the ground and going on the roof. Because on the roof it's really easy to accidentally knock enemies off the roof and away from your weapons. And of course, distorted real impact, because we don't want to mess with that fellow anymore. Fausts are just too dangerous. The longer they're alive, the more dangerous they get, I think, because they just start getting really aggressive. It's really strange, because when they first spawn in, they're not too bad. There were some crates there that had some health in it, I think. And this good old red orb crystal from mission 2. I don't know if red orb crystals actually count for your red orb count at the end of the mission, because we don't need any more red orbs. We're maxed out on blue orbs and purple orbs from the shop. But I'll break the crystal just in case. I never got around to testing that. Oh yeah, so we couldn't climb up the top there because we can't reach. Remember in mission 2 how we saw this street filled with enemies and we wanted to go down there? Now we actually can. And it's a pretty fun fight actually. I really like this one. It starts off with scarecrows everywhere. It's a nice wide open area. It's a good place to use things like Overdrive and Pandora laser. You can hit tons of enemies here. And I have not seen this place on Legendary Dark Knight mode yet, but I bet it's going to be insane. But yeah, scarecrows keep spawning in, and you get 2 mega scarecrows spawn in after a little bit. I like to kill one of them off pretty quickly, because once they trigger they become very dangerous, much harder to stun. But it does take them a little while to trigger, so you can play around with the scarecrows for a bit first. Oop, that scarecrow was just... that mega scarecrow had a bit of a fit there. Whoop, that was close. One thing about mega scarecrows, I find that as long as they're not triggered, Lucifer actually really locks them down and they just can't do a thing. Especially once your rows start exploding, they just bounce all over, they can't do a thing to stop you. It's pretty good. That's definitely why I like going for one before it triggers. So we can have some more fun with Lucifer. Lucifer's a strange weapon in that it's got like a ramp up time. It doesn't seem to work very well for switching weapons quickly. So I find when I go Lucifer I try to commit to it for a little bit, at least get some value out of it. Yeah, and then we have these dogs spawn in. Still got one mega scarecrow there. Woo! That was close. Might ignore him for a little bit. If you're lucky, the dogs will shoot fireballs at the scarecrows. But it's best not to count on that. And just the mega scarecrow left. Yeah, they do have a lot of health once triggered. You could always go for the distorted real impact, of course. It'll probably take you 2 to kill them once they're triggered. But as long as you can get them in the air, they're not too bad. A good way to stop a devil-triggered mega scarecrow is with the Swordmaster flicking move. Prop Shredder. You probably have to do it a couple times, but once you get it in the air, it's pretty helpless. So there's plenty of destroyable objects around here. There's these things that I think they're garbage cans, maybe? There's some benches, and they're just all along the street too. Plenty of cars. I wish you could destroy the cars actually, that would be a cool little Street Fighter reference. So that is a very fun fight. There's plenty of opportunity to see enemies attacking each other, but it can also be very dangerous if you leave all those enemies alive, so it's better to just try and single things out in the corners and try and kill them as quickly as possible. And up here, this sneaky red orb leads us to one of our last blue orb fragments. Yeah. And it's annoying to get up there. You can just double trigger and use a triple jump, or you can get up there without trigger like that. Very nice. We only have one more of those left to get, and then we have maxed out our health bar. Well, that's pretty cool. So we've actually gone through most of the mission already. This mission is pretty much fight after fight after fight, and the street is blocked off by vehicles and invisible walls. And we're about to hit familiar ground again. Another street blocked off by a bus and some cars. It's not a very convincing barricade, but oh well. And behind here, we have our final secret mission. So, we need to not take damage. Doesn't sound too bad. It's a laser corridor, obviously. Alright, that's a fair few lasers. But they did give us a slow motion machine, so it's really not too bad. Does look pretty threatening, doesn't it? But they disabled the slow motion machine, because screw you. So how the heck do we get through that without getting hurt? Well, there's a simple answer, as usual. You fly over it with Pandora. Oh yes, Pandora's fly ability is so useful. Nice easy way to get through that, and they even give you some health at the end. That's really nice of them. You do need some gunslinger gauge built up. Disaster gauge, sorry. But you only need like 1/3 of a meter or so, you don't even need half. So you can make sure you build up some meter while you're on the street battle, and you can do that pretty easily. Yes, so there's a couple other ways you can actually do that one too. I had a bit of a play around. And the first one is, it used to work for me all the time, and then it stopped working. So I think you actually have to time this one properly. I think I was getting lucky before. But this one involves Trickster and Devil Trigger. So make sure you come in with a bunch of Trigger, and you just spam Trickster Dash. You do need to start dashing at the right time, otherwise you will get caught by the lasers during your non-invincible period, because you're not completely invincible while you're spamming dash. And you need to make sure you're dashing forwards, otherwise you'll end up on an angle and then you'll get hit by lasers. But yeah, that method's not too bad, but I recommend the Pandora one over that one. And then there's this kind of ridiculous one. It's also Trickster based. You don't need Devil Trigger for this one. And you just do this. Trickster Teleport. And you just keep going. And going. And once you get to the end, you have to actually pass the end very quickly, because you can't just teleport on the spot there, or the lasers will come up and hit you. You have to Skystar to get past there quickly. Yeah, that method is silly. I like it, but it's not recommended. Yeah, so there's one more method I've seen, which is to use Royal Guard releases, but I haven't been able to pull that one off. It does look pretty cool if you can get it. But the easiest method is definitely just to fly over them with Pandora. Nice little signpost here, I didn't notice it before. Nice little detail. And a no standing sign. On to the final normal fight of the mission. And it's one of the two really nasty ones. This one and the one in the alleyway. And hey, there's the demon gate. Doesn't look like there's anything moving out of it, but we can see all these shadows of demons flying over us. And this poor fountain's pretty dead. So starting off not too bad. Just some Mephistos. For the start of this fight, I like to just weaken one, not kill it. That's why I was using that Sword Master combo, because that doesn't kill until you reach the final hit. So it's really good for weakening enemies. Whoops, nearly killed him. Don't want to do that. Yeah, so you get them both to low health. Because once one dies, then the next wave starts spawning in. Which is, of course, 2 Alto Angelos. Oh, nearly. When you start off with a real impact, sometimes the other one will move right in next to you and also get hit by the real impact. It's pretty great. But you have to be positioned just right, and I was behind it instead of next to it. So 2 Altos is, it's one of the hardest enemy combos in the game, I think. They're just so fast and they cover each other really well with attacks. You have to really be on guard. And whoops, I accidentally killed that one. I wanted to weaken them both before I killed because, as you can see, a Faust just spawned in. That's the final enemy of this fight. Doesn't mean it's not hard though. So yeah, I'm going for the real impact just to finish it off so I can focus on the Faust, because yeah, it's now getting pretty aggressive. See if it lets me do this. Haha, it does. Nice. Thank you for not attacking me for long enough for me to do that. And you can try that against the Alto Angelos as well. I did that, but they get their shields back really quickly. So I think it's just not as effective against Altos as it is against the Fausts. Ooh. Plenty of little lasers there. See if we can kill it with Pandora. Weaken it a bit. I'm just surprised it's not dead yet. Yeah, Pandora kill. Yeah, that fight's pretty brutal. That's basically use distorted real impact the fight. If you don't, you're going to be in some pain. And this poor fountain is quite dead. I like all the water going everywhere. That's a cool detail. Yeah, so there was a couple fun things that I noticed around this area that I want to show you. Well, first of all, I did manage to get a double real impact on the Altos. Feels good. That's a lot of fun when you do that. And also there's this funny bug I encountered. It's only a small one, but it's still pretty amusing. You see that dive kick? It went for a little bit longer than it should have. Let's see it again. I like these little quirky bugs like that. I still keep encountering new things like that in this game. It's really fun. And finally, here's a hidden item around this area that I found some time ago. I assume other people have found it too, but I haven't seen it mentioned very often. Because it's really out of the way and not very good to get. Yeah, so you can actually go in this door. The normal place to go is past the fountain. But you can go through this area that Nero travelled through in Mission 2. Ah, so many memories from Mission 2. Tons of breakable things in here, but you don't need to break these for the red orb count. I'm just doing it because it's fun. So, oh, some health. You can come in here to get some health if you really need it, but make sure you break everything if you do come in. I think that's how it works. As long as you don't enter a room, you don't need to break the things in there to get red orbs. And see? A gold orb! But we can't jump out of the balcony to get that. So we're going to have to pass through here. The cathedral! Yes, you can visit the cathedral as Dante. There's not a lot to do in here. There's that red orb hidden up there. And down on the ground floor there's not a lot to do. These little cells. There's a green orb in there, but we can't get that as far as I know as Dante. And the Grim Grip platforms aren't active because Dante can't use them. So we're going to have to find another way to get up there. We want to get up there, but it seems like there's an invisible ceiling or something there. I tried a whole bunch of times and I couldn't jump up through there. So the way to get up there, and yes, you do need Devil Trigger and Trickster, is to do this. There. And now we're up near the other door, thankfully. There's some benches up here you can destroy. Doesn't really matter, but if you're going for an S, I suppose you want to do that. I'm not sure if you still get an S with the amount of time it would take to go through here, but yeah, we're not going to get that red orb. That's too risky. And there we go. Gold orb. That one's a pretty sneaky little gold orb. It definitely rewards exploration though. Gold orbs aren't very common to find lying around in this game. Oh yes, I'm full on gold orbs. So when you're full on an item you can't actually pick it up and it'll just stay there, and it will keep proccing the item pickup animation again and again. It's kind of funny. You just proc it over and over. Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. Onwards. So we can break this little bin here, and that's got some health and some trigger in it to help prepare you for the boss. And on to my favourite cutscene in the entire series.
It was my assumption that those demons would prove far inferior in the face of your tactics.
You summon and kill. Summon and kill. I fail to see the logic here. Said it. The price to pay for power?
Humans. They are but stubborn and foolish. It takes a journey to hell for them to accept and praise their god. A fact that tickles Irony's judgment.
And your judgments interest me not. For I am here to reclaim what is rightfully mine.
That is what you seek. And that is why I wait in your power!
You will fumble the proposition of my quest. Though I encourage for an opportunity to battle a being of such grand delusion as you is a sweet fortune.
These cutscenes, they are so good. Yes, now the inevitable Agnes fight as Dante. I really enjoy playing with Lucifer in this fight. Woo! Yes, so the swords he spawns in are a lot more annoying as Dante, because as Nero we could use them as ammunition to throw at him. Also, something I noticed recently is that he actually uses his own health to summon those enemies. When he summons swords or the dogs, it actually costs him some health. So that's pretty weird. Like blood magic or something. But yeah, so the swords, you can't grab them and throw them. So you can either try and ignore them or you can hunt them down and kill them. I like hunting them down because they actually, once you kill them, they actually give you some devil trigger. So you can pop trigger to try and kill them ASAP. It works quite well. You usually get a stun on him about now. As long as you've been doing a decent amount of damage to him, then he usually goes into the centre. Yeah. And a full Lucifer explosion will knock him out of that. Looks cool too. Here come the dogs. Yeah, you can see they actually did some damage to him. And yeah, once again, dogs pretty annoying. Can't use them to hurt Agnes, so I try and go for them nice and quick. Devil Triggered Stingers does a good job of taking them out. Plus Shotgun. Pandora isn't so good at it, but you can swap back to Pandora after you kill them. Because I like trying to get use out of the new weapons in these fights. You do have time to do it to do a full laser between certain fireball volleys. You gotta be careful though. As long as you Devil Trigger, because then you can get the laser out nice and quick. Yes, once he's low health, he starts doing this. Whoops, I think I Trickster Dash into the wall. Not so great. Swordmaster Aerial Rave does a great job of ducking him out of that. And with certain fireball attacks, you can actually stand right under his fireball portal and you won't get hit. But it's risky. I'm still not sure exactly which ones do that. Oh yeah. Kick 13. You usually get 2 stuns off on him during a fight. It's a good way to tell how we're progressing if you're not watching the health bar. Trickster does well for dodging that. And he doesn't use health to summon the sharks, which is strange. I guess it's because they don't stick around. Oop. Indecisive. Almost got hit by that. And let's kill him with a rose. Yeah!
How can there be such a difference between us?
You surrendered your humanity. It's that simple.
But you are not human. So why am I inferior?
You assume humans are weak. Okay, yeah, their bodies lack the physical ability of a demon. But humans possess something that demons don't.
What? What is it that demons lack? Please, for the sake of my research, please tell me. No, 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 no.
If you're gonna continue your research in the next world,
No, 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 no.
do your homework first. And the rest is silence.
Goodbye, Agnes. Yeah, this room's pretty, trashed. I don't think there's anything we can even destroy in here. So, off we go. Yay, that's mission 17 done! I find that to be the hardest mission in the game. There's 2 nasty fights in particular, and the continue point is actually really early on. It's before the alleyway fight. So it can be pretty brutal. And now we get some achievements, or DMC history. Because now we've maxed out the health bar, and we've got all of Dante's skills. Very nice. Yeah, so we have something new. Guess what? You know how Dante got Yamato in the cutscene? Well, now he has Yamato. It's actually something you can use. So that's a nice little extra. It's actually a 5th style, it's not an equipable melee weapon. So before we move on to Dante's final mission, we'll go have a look at Yamato. Yeah, so Yamato is the Dark Slayer style. So Dark Slayer, because you activate styles with the 4 directions on the D-pad, and the 4 directions are already taken, so you activate Dark Slayer by pressing the direction of the style you already have activated. Or rather, you can just press any direction twice, and you activate Dark Slayer. Yes, he says get set, and then you can start using Yamato. And first off we got Yamato Combo S. I guess S stands for standard. And if you let him do the sheath animation, yeah, that's pretty cool. The Yamato disappears. It's a nice little detail. And yeah, so because you use the Swordmaster button to, the style button to swing Yamato, you can mix and match it with any melee weapon you have equipped. Just for some extra fun, it's like an alternative to Swordmaster. Also with Yamato Combo S, if you actually let him do the full sheath animation in combat, you get some free Devil Trigger. I did not know that until very recently. It's really cool. You don't even have to hit enemies with the combo to get the Devil Trigger. I guess it's kind of like a taunt, but it's much faster than most of Dante's taunts. And it does damage, so very nice. So next move is Aerial Rave V. I guess the V stands for Virgil. A nice 2-hit attack. Fun little alternative to the normal Aerial Rave from Swordmaster. And it's also really nice to jump cancel. You have to go very fast to jump cancel because it's such a quick move. But it's really fun. And finally we have Slash Dimension, which comes in 2 flavours, F and C. I guess the F stands for far and the C for close. I'm just guessing that. Because one is further away and one's close. It depends on what direction you press the analog stick as to which variant you activate. It's good for hitting entire groups of enemies, and it's also really good against big targets like this one. Tons of fun. Look at all that damage. And yeah, that's all of Yamato's moves, unfortunately. It's named the Dark Slayer style, but it's actually different from Virgil's Dark Slayer from DMC3. His was like an alternative trickster who did teleports and stuff. Yeah, it's a shame it only has 3 real moves. Oh well. Let's move on to Dante's final mission, Mission 18. See ya!